These decks are going to be TCG meta very soon, and trust me, they are weird. With the new Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem coming out on June 12th, and of course Duelist Advanced, the next core set, coming out on July 4th, this national season is going to be very exciting, and there are a lot of new OCG cards you need to be familiar with. So we're back with another OCG Meta Report, especially for you. This is OCG Meta Report, National Season Format. Don't forget that the new Sleeve Chief Anniversary Sale is live now on sleevechief.de. 20 to 60% off every single product, with 30 new products, huge restocks, and all of that available until June 13th. And of course, you can get an extra 5% off on top using code galzo5. So head over to sleevechief.de in the link in the description to support the channel, and let's begin. You might have forgotten all about Vanquish Soul, but this deck is a menace in the OCG right now. Of course, with Battles of Legend, Monster Mayhem, and of course, Duelist Advanced, and later on, at the end of July, we have Justice Hunters. Everything within like 2 months is going to change. Of course, there's probably going to be a ban list before Worlds, and it's going to be pretty crazy. So you need to be familiar with all of these decks, and I've made a video about the series of decks from Justice Hunters on the channel already, explaining every single one of them. So after that, go watch that, because it will help you understand what you're actually going to be playing against. And yeah, I wanted to start off with this because this is the deck that's kind of like wreaking havoc, right, on the OCG right now. Vanquish Soul, you're all familiar with that. Summoning from the hand, losing to Perulia really hard, but got really insane cards like Vanquish Soul Holy Sue, which is already coming out at Duelist Advanced, which is able to summon any Vanquish Soul from deck, which is really, really good. And of course has a good summoning condition, revealing in hand to special summon itself. You could essentially go really, really hard turn 0 during your opponent's turn. And of course it's combined with the Justice Hunters engine of K9. K9 is actually a deck, it's a new archetype, but it's being used mostly as an engine because it has really good extenders with Vanquish Soul. The attributes work because it's only Dark and Earth. So essentially, you play the 3 Zuna here, which is summon during your opponent's turn, Foolish Burial, the Lupus bring itself back, and then Quick Exceeds into a rank 5, which you can make into a Ripper for a negate of hand and graveyard effects, or Nash Knight to actually steal a monster, attach it, non-targeting. They also play Shifter, the new field spell. We got some Phantasmaze, makes sense. Malice is still a thing, but also Yummy is essentially a link deck, right? Even though it's a synchro deck, they always link summon. A few interesting cards here. Number 107, wondering like why specifically that? Maybe because it's a rank 9, so you can actually make it somehow in this deck. I'm wondering. They do have like K9 Werewolf is the rank 9 of the deck, but yeah, Kaiju's in the side. Red Reboot, boy, I wish we had that. And of course, there can be only one. Makes sense. So this is Vanquish Soul K9, the deck to beat after all of these sets come out. But there's going to be some crazy decks here. As I mentioned in the beginning, Yubel running a Sarcophagus engine. You can essentially use souls to send the Dark Magician Girl. You have Gandora. Of course, you only have 2 Nightmare Pain in the OCG, and the Fiendsmith engine is relatively hit. Like you have 1 in graveyard, which should be fine. They are using the Rainbow Bridge engine to get into Nightmare Pain because that essentially makes it so that it's a 1-card combo. Playing the extra Yubel, but overall, interesting to see the 3 Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice in this deck, and of course Summon Sorceress, right? You summon to your field, then you can get one of the monsters from your opponent's field, summon it from deck. It has an errata, so you can't really use it as abusively as you could have before the errata, but yeah, and the Dark Magicians, yeah. This is cool. This is cool text. Now, you know me, you know my love for this deck, but seeing Branded played in 40 cards is something that the OCG can do, right? 3 Aluber, 3 Cartesia, best cards in the deck, makes sense. They only have the 1 Branded fusion, but trying to play this deck in such a small package is really, really hard. You see, they let go of some really important cards, like they're only playing 1 Fallen Valbaz, Shadow Engine, just because it works with like discarding stuff and fusion summoning with Cartesia. Can't really play High Spirits, which is a huge Branded card. Can't really play Albion the Shadow Dragon, which is huge. Trying to fit some non-engine, but you know, with all these traps, I'm not really sure how it works, especially Mercurier is like, I mean, are you really searching for that? 2 continuous spells? This deck can probably brick pretty hard, but they are playing the synchros, so you're not locked out as much, because if you're only playing deployment locks you, opening locks you, fusion locks you, but if you only play with Shaddoll and Cartesia, you could do fine and not lock yourself. And of course, Baron being a card is such a huge buff, right? Such a good card. And a lot of like different options in the side deck is just like super poly targets against like a lot of the good decks right now, especially Dragotail, which is basically dragons. You can just eat them up. This is what the Diabellsar lore has come to. It's not exactly the same here, specifically because you don't have a way to bridge between Snake Eyes and Azamina cards, right? Because the only thing that you're missing, essentially, like you could bridge from White Forest using Sylvie to get yourself LZ Azamina, synchro summon them, and then you can search for original Sinful Spoils, right? So you get Rosiliago, adds Deception of the Sinful Spoils. You get to both engines from both engines, right? But in the TCG, that's not a thing, right? And it's kind of a shame because this deck is cool, right, in terms of the engine. Can anybody tell me why the Slifer is here? I'm dying to know. Is this a flex? Like, maybe, can you tribute continuous spells for this? I thought it was only like traps, right? Again, some more extra deck options in the side because most of the OCG is best of one, but yeah, Curious is a card, and Apollosa is a card, and Linkaribo is a card, and Lacrima. 4 banned cards in the extra deck. This is cool. I just noticed there's Malice here. Okay, so this is a 60 card pile, and it's called 60 good stuff. The OCG likes that. I like that term as well. Good stuff, just like jam everything in it. Back in Sprite tier format, you had like these piles with Punk, Halky Fibrix combos. These were the things that were like you jam everything into 60 cards. So here you have, let's see what kind of synergy you have. You have essentially the Malice cards, right? The Malice engine, which locks you into Link monsters. This is predominantly fusions in the extra deck here. Tearlaman's engine, everything is at 1 still. Dracotail, you can really have a lot of fun with that. I'm saying like Dracotail, Shaddoll, branded 60 cards is going to be really nice. A Snow, you got King of the Swamp to search for your poly, and then you have the Gem Knight engine, which maybe I'm wrong, but don't you need to banish cards for Brilliant Fusion? And if so, can you banish like the Malice cards? How does that work though? Because you're summoning fusions, right? 10 traps in 60 cards, by the way. 10 traps. This is crazy. And there is 1 grass. Yeah, there is only 1 grass, which is interesting. Isn't it a 2? I thought it was a 2. Extra deck is like pretty mixed. You do have the Dragoon because you could make Dragoon with the Philomena, I think her name is, Phimena. You can pitch it, fusion summon 1 dragon and 1 King of the Swamp into Dragoon. And then some more options, right? The only thing missing here is basically Ardmagia. I made a video about Ardmagia on the channel already, hoping it's going to be cool. It's a new lore. We're going to be investing in that. I think I'm going max rarity with this one. Maybe, we'll see. I'm kind of tired of the TCG right now. This is interesting. We have Tenpai Dracotail, and I'm trying to find the synergy, right? Because I think that Sangin Kaiman adds a level 4 or lower Fire Dragon, which means that it cannot actually add the Fire Dragon that is the Orgura in the deck. But you have Shaddoll Fusion, which you can use like going second. You can send it and then get a set, get your Dragontail engine going. But basically Tenpai, right? 44 cards in Tenpai is not ideal. X-Strike is looking really nice. Super poly targets, we're playing 3 of them here. And then this seems like the Fire Shaddoll. So the plan is to get to Shaddoll Fusion and just like, since this is a going second deck, you can fire it off and get... You know what? I'm down. I got it and I'm down. Vesper Gearsu, by the way. If you don't know this card, Crazy Boardberry card. I was in the OTS Championship today. I saw someone playing it in Sky Strikers. Read it. Give it a read. Yummy. Again, if you want to get brushed up on your knowledge of OCG, specifically Justice Hunter deck, check it out on the channel. There's videos explaining every single one of the decks, what every card does, and of course the combos, everything. Obedient School is going to summon 1, 2, 3 from the deck, by the way. It's going to lock you into beasts, but it doesn't really matter because you go link 1, you get a field spell. The field spell revives. You synchro summon into your starter, which is going to add 2 different Yummy cards, discarding 1 card. You have full setup with Obedience School. Striker Engine does the same thing essentially. It gets you to Hornet drones, which summons Kagari. Kagari grab drones, drone summon again because it's not once per turn, striker card. And then you can synchro summon using the token and Kagari into the searcher. Yeah, you can synchro with a link and a token, none of which are tuners. So this is yummy. Yeah, playing Purge because you can. It's basically a light deck, right? And this is Soul Drain, Graveyard and Banish Negation, which is very good in this format. Lunalight, not a lot to talk about here because this is like a Towers to a Road deck now. But playing Fractal is always cool to me. Fractal is going to send the level 3 Beast Warrior, which is going to get your combo going. And of course, this deck is dark because you can play Dominant Impulse, which is like so broken. And this is the newest polymerization. I don't remember what it does. But seems like it's synergistic to this deck, possibly. And lastly, always like to finish with a pile. Again, we looked at the pile already, but this is glorious, right? This looks great. So this is Fiendsmith Snake Eye, Millennium Hero, Gemini Taurus Tier, Arch Nemesis. 3 original Sinful Spoils, by the way. Like, the screen is full of... Snow is insane in this deck. The Gemini Engine is good, right? The new cards. And then the hero cards, getting to Necrom probably to banish it and summon... wait, there's no Adusted Gold here. So what do you actually do? Is this a Light Fiend as well? Is it? That's interesting. And then the Millennium cards, obviously, we see that in Master Duel all the time in Protoss. So we're gonna have to have, we're gonna have to have Banshee here. It's gonna be very easy to make a rank 4 in this deck, I assume. So you basically Protoss Turbo, and then Chaos Nephthys. Read this card, and Change of Heart is at 3. Wow, this is very cool. We got the Pilgrim Reaper, Mill 4, I think, from each player. Really good. And then Firewall Singularity Dragon. Maybe because you could make it with like 1 Xyz, 1 Fusion, 1 Link, I suppose that it's effective, but this is a banger for sure. Let me know what other kind of decks you want to see. Don't forget the Sleep Chief Anniversary Sale, 20 to 60% off. Check the link in the description below to support the channel. Get 5% off extra with galzo 5. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.